the Elements of Art week 1. If you already turned it in and you think that you did it, you need to like change some things, let me know and I'll send it back to you. There's a plane. So there's no separate assessment because then I'd have to grade it and that sounds like tests and I don't like tests. It's just your projects is what you guys will get graded on. So this is the first project. The other ones will look more like actual projects than this one does because it's totally digital. So this is the Elements of Art week 1 right here. If you missed any of these, you can click on this link, the video link. And there is video actually of the presentation that I gave to you guys, the specific class last week, Tuesday. So you can scrub through and go to the elements part of it to fill in any of these blanks. And I'm going to briefly go over it. You're going to do some examples in the scavenger hunt too, so you could write it in then. So you're going to end up with all 7 elements of art filled in here, okay, if you don't have that already. And then you're going to put in an example. So it could be the example that I showed in the paintings that were in the slides the other day. It could be your, like, for texture, say I want to photograph my dog, so I just write dog there, okay? It could be that you're coming up with something entirely different as long as it's an example of something that has texture or line or shape, okay? And then you're coming down here, and I've given you 2 examples of what you're going to make. So you're going to make either a collage or a list. Both of them, either one of them needs to be labeled though. Okay, so here's my list. So this person labeled this dog as being texture. Okay, I want you to make sure you label them because sometimes they could be interchangeable. So I could also call that value scale because there's multiple shades of that brown on the dog. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. And then making sure that you have all 7. So here's an example of the collage, and these are in separate documents, but you are going to put them just right at the bottom of this sheet and it'll go into another page, which is fine. Okay. Any questions about what's due tomorrow? Okay. So, and while I'm thinking about it, we are not meeting tomorrow. If you have questions, you can zoom into my 4th or my 5th hour, and the times are on the links. And you want to look at the Monday time because the 4th and 5th hour are my online classes, and they're required to show up. Even if they're there for 5 minutes, they're required to show up because the rules are different for hybrid and online. But we will have a Pictionary in the morning if you feel like showing up for that. It's an online Pictionary. And then otherwise, you're just working on your project. Okay? But you do not need to, the link won't even work tomorrow. Okay? So if you have questions, you can go into 4th or 5th hour. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you an element of art, and then I want you to go find something and bring it back. Okay? For some of them, it might require that you're bringing multiple things that you would set up to be able to take the picture to show what you're meaning, the element that you're showing. Okay. So by the end of this, if you haven't done your photographs yet, you could actually just photograph the things that you have there and you'll have your project done. Okay. So for example, for line, I could go and I could take a picture of the siding on my house because there's lines there. Okay. Does this make sense to everyone? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to go find an example of line. Okay, 2 seconds. Great. What are your examples of line? Scott, that looks great. Oh, who's talking? I don't know where you are. Nice, Jack. That looks good. Yep, Shivani. Absolutely. Kenley, yep. Good job. Yep, Scott. Okay, anybody else? Let's see who's hiding here. Oh, Miriam, yep. And George, good job. And Calvin, nice. Did you used to live in Florida? Morgan and is it Renaya? Those look great. Great examples. Yeah, George, go ahead. Okay, so the next one, remember we have two kinds of texture. There's implied, okay, where it looks like it would feel one way, but it really feels a different way. Okay, I always think this about wool sweaters. Wool sweaters look like they would feel nice, but I find wool to be super itchy. So they look soft, but then they're not. So implied is it looks like one thing, but it's something different is what it would feel like. And then real is it would really feel like that. Okay. So 1 minute to go grab something that is implied or real texture. So Cruz, we're doing texture right now. So for example, I could bring my dog over here, okay, or the leaves, or you've got some examples that are showing up in the screen too. Some great blankets and pillows and stuff. Okay, so it's anything that feels different than something else or looks like it would feel different for implied texture. "29 seconds. You guys are lucky. The scavenger hunt last hour was for principles of art, and that was much harder. People had a really hard time finding stuff because it's more, they have to set it up. Jack, I'm going to return that to you. Oh, there's my dog. She just jumped up to, she was digging. She's got dirt all over her face. Yeah, so your examples are good. You just need to put that collage or the list at the bottom. Jack, it's going back to you right now. Go back. Okay. So what do you guys have? Just messed up my presentation. Okay. Scott and Kenley both have blankets. Nice. Morgan, good job. Yep. Jack has a blanket too, it looks like. Is it Renaya? Is that how you say it? Okay, she's got a pillow. Shabani, yep, good. That'd be a smooth texture. Maya. Nine. Cruz, what did you have there? I missed it. Adrella, is that how you say your name? Nice blanket. Good, Calvin. Oh yeah, that'll work. Yep. So that's a smooth texture. So all of what you guys showed me, right, is it's all real texture. Okay, it looks like how it would actually feel because that's the thing. Okay, so to have it be implied texture, it's gonna have to be like a photograph or a drawing or a painting or something where it's printed on. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. So Jack's book is an example of implied texture. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, it was a towel. I'm sorry. Okay. So the next one we're doing is shape. So an example of shape, and you want to make sure it's not form. So this one, it's going to look two-dimensional. Yep. So that's good, Scott. See how Scott's isn't shaded? It's all the same Solid color all the way around. Yep. So for those, you would want to make sure that you're photographing it like out here right now. See, I've got all these shadows on me. So that makes it form. Okay. So you'd want to make sure you have it in a nice bright light. Awesome. So about 45 seconds left to find something for shape. This could be a Lego or a cookie cutter or a cookie. Are those Squishimals? My daughter, who is in college, asked for like 4 things for Christmas, and one of them was one of those. Yeah, like it's cool. Is it 3 of you that have them? But come on, my college student.
They're so comfortable.
I know. I did. It came. I ordered it from an actual company, and it showed up in a dog food box. I don't understand. So I was like, I didn't order any dog food, so I opened it, and it's perfectly fine. I don't know why it was repackaged into a dog food box, but was really soft, but super confused. I think there's some kind of shady thing going on about the Squishmallow. Yeah, that Squishmallow. I was saying it wrong. Okay, so looks like we have a lot of Squishmallows for the shape. Oh yeah. Morgan, the person that drew that painting that you're holding, is a former student of mine. And no, I have a shirt that with artwork on it that he did. I almost wore it today. Yep. 100 grand. Shape. Yep. Good job. Good job, Jack. Okay. So again, you guys can stack these to the side or even take a photograph. I don't know if you can photograph while you're on Zoom or not. Great, Cruz. Yep. That'll work. Calvin, good job. Okay, the next one is form. So this one, you're going to want to have it shaded. So right now I would work as form because you can tell that I'm 3-dimensional by looking at me, okay? Because of the shading, especially. If I was fully lit on all sides, then it would look like I was flat, okay? And, you know, angling something like this would show that it's 3-dimensional. Could be a drawing of a circle changed into a sphere. Yep, that's a cool dragon. Yep, the mouse. Yep, that works for form too. Because we can see that those houses are 3-dimensional. Cruz, yep, the door works great. Yeah, Renaya, that looks great. That shows that the drawing is 3-dimensional. The person, I think it's a person. Yep, Cruz, that'll work. Good job, guys. I hope you're saving this stuff to be able to, yep, Bo. A cookie cutter would work for shape if you're photographing it where you can't see any shadows. And it would work for form if you have it where you can see the shadows. Okay. So that could be both. It just depends on how you photograph it. Great job, guys. You are the winners for the day. You've like participated way more than the other classes. Thank you for that. Okay, color. This one is going to be easy. Find something with color. Nice. Good job. Yep, that Squishmallow is coming in handy. Good job, Kenley and Maya and Ray and Jack and Scott's got like 9 things that he showed me. And Adrella, am I saying that right? Awesome. Calvin, good job. Morgan, nice. Morgan, are you like at the library or something? That's a lot of books. Awesome. Shabani, good job. Cool. Good job. The next one is value scale. So this is going to be a little, potentially a little harder because you need something that shows like the different different shades of one color. Okay, so right now my face would work because the shadowing is making different shades and the highlights are making different shades. Yep. The background, that's the different shades of the sunset and also on the plane. Yep. It's the same textbook Jack held up a minute ago. Yep. Jack, that'll work. Value scale. Yep. The photograph will work. Absolutely. Scott, yeah. Yep, it shows a couple of shades. Yep, Shabani, good idea. It's in grayscale. Nice. Oh, Morgan, yep, that'll work. Kenley, yep. Awesome. Morgan, you should send me a picture of your cat for the yearbook. Anybody else who has a pet roaming around? Okay, so we have one more to do. So this one, for distance, you are probably going to have to set something up or photograph, like it's going to be the way that you photograph it. Okay, so if I just turn my camera here, okay, this is a swing that's actually, we had an extra bed when we moved, so we made it into a swing. But if I photograph this right now, you can tell that that pole is closer to us than the back pole, than that bush, and then those trees over there. Okay, so that shows distance. Yep, Scott, so the things you're holding and then the ceiling fan behind you, yep, that shows distance. So you could set up like 3 Matchbox cars and then set them up kind of how my hands are in front of the camera right now. You know, so you can see that there's one that's behind, further behind. Yep. Morgan, perfect. Jack, looks good. Perfect. Yep. Kenley, that'll work. Awesome. Shabani, perfect. Good job. So Calvin, it's hard to see what you have in your hand, but yeah. When you moved it a little bit, I could see it because it was right in the sun, or right in the light. Yep. Great. So that is the last element of art. So does that help you guys figure out what you need to do then on the sheet? Okay. So all you're doing is having your notes in here and then adding your collage or your list down here of photographs that you've taken. It can be things that you find off the internet, but it's they're more fun to look at if it's photographs that you've taken.